first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Since Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia etimi ewini NPP amanyuko na election no awon etimi koe no kamia say since then NDC amanyuko no ahoto ayefre won ahoto paade enya ade say watimi enya bi ene ade achi ana Sam George etimi ede ne de nam ha ade achi ana Fifi Kote de ne de nam ha ade achi ana John Dramani Mahama so ede ne de nam ha afi omo kan ya ka say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a religious prostitute because of enam aba a openti no da bia obe say ena na okwa asole ha ena na okwa asole ha true Muslim bia ni ho a obesan akọ ema sofo de nensegu ne so abompa ya ma na no kra nam so ama nipa bebre esite chief imam as example ewa bra na sofo bi ede nensa egu ne so a won etimi ebompa ye etimi ede amano no ena obia nim the reason why ntia since Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia etimi ewini ade achi ade asanyina NDC amanyoko no etata no afei ena reason no etimi apie eyedi ntia yenko na yenko tie die ntia NDC amanyoko ne da won entimi da because of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So you've taken some notes.
Yeah. I mean, at the point you have to stop because much of the things that Sammy was saying, we've heard them all before. In the 2020 campaign, they said the same thing. They haven't changed their script. It's the same thing. But I just want to react to a few things. And I will do, I'll also read something to update Sammy on what is happening in the world in relation to the economy. But I want to do, the first thing is to bring Sammy's attention that everything he said about the vice president is not the vice president. All the accusations and the things he was leveling against the vice president is part of their strategic communication plan to dirty the man, to make him look unappreciated, to make him look odd and bad for their purpose. But the real Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who was a technocrat and was delivering and working, minding his own contribution for this country's development, is not who he described. The man he wanted to describe, I want to give him the description proper. He is a competent, skilled individual, a technocrat who has risen or who rose to his station in life before coming into politics. He is an accomplished individual in his own right. Politics did not make him. He had his own standing in society. He arrived at his level of actualization before politics. He's a technocrat who has been supporting his president this far to bring Ghana out of the doldrums that we inherited this economy in 2017, up until COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war intervened. That is the man, the technocrat who gets things done. So he's a competent leader. He's experienced, because I've told you, this life work has shown an individual who has a vast array of experiences. With all the achievements of the vice president, he is a humble person and a God-fearing individual. He is compassionate and is very accessible. It doesn't take much to have him descend to a level of any individual in society and have a conversation. Dr. Bawumia, Sammy, is an authentic, genuine individual. He's a real human being. He understands our common humanity, the strengths and weaknesses of man, and how is it that as a leader, he works to provide opportunity for people. Sammy, the vice president you were describing, I don't know who the person is, but what we have as a vice president is one who is a true human being, one who is about people, who is about the unity of this country, who is about equal opportunity and treatment of people. So that is the Bawumia you wanted to describe. So maybe you can take notes from what I just told you. He talked about embarrassing election results. Tina, in this country, our constitution specifies to be president, you need what? 50% of the vote plus one. He is talking about 62% as though 50 plus 1 is more than 62%. I don't know, lawyers, you are good at math, so I'm not sure why you would confuse that. But the vice president got 62%. Or if you want, you don't appreciate the approximation, is 61.47%. So 61.5%. You can call it that way. But that is exceedingly more than 50 plus 1%. Now, he's talking about because of 62 or 61.5%, which is more than what you need to become the president of this whole country, not for a political party, for a whole country, this country. Sammy says that is so disappointing, he should stand aside. And I'm wondering where Sammy was in 2016 when his candidate, his promoting, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was beaten in excess of 1 million votes in this country. When and how did you advise His Excellency and he didn't listen and he ran in 2020 and he's still running today? Is that not disappointing? Is that not abysmal? Is that not embarrassing? At a time when he had the national apparatus, every resource was at his disposal. You wanted us to believe that the vice president is so resourced, is an establishment candidate and all. But then when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was running in 2016, he was the establishment. He was the establishment. He was the law. He was everything. He had everything, including everything. But yet, he was beaten in excess of 1 million votes. So, Sammy, I don't get it. Not even a second round. One touch. An incumbent. Historic levels. It's never happened. Sammy, it's never happened. And you are telling me that for a political party, that one is unprecedented. But a national election where a sitting president was marooned in the manner he was, beaten, you are saying that that one is advisable, he contests again, keep contesting. Sammy, what is your appreciation of numbers? I'm getting confused, Sammy. The vice president's record, in terms of the votes he got, demonstrates a party. Certainly, a first-time candidate success at that rate is unprecedented. You are making references to people who are tried second time and are getting high numbers. But before you made that comparison, Sammy, you told us that we should compare like for like. So when you are comparing people from different era and people in a different era with him, you need to appreciate, if you establish a standard, you'll follow it all the way through. The vice president won in 15 polling centers out of 17. Okay. What is that? What percentage is that? If you take away, forget about the numbers, and take that in the polling station out of 17 polling stations, he won 15. Which is, in clear terms, suggesting that he is appreciated across board. Where you are saying that even in Volta region where he's lost, obviously in Central region where, Kennedy Japan came from, definitely it shows that he was going to win or has won there. Clearly, that's not an issue. But in Volta region where he lost, what was the margin? You understand? So the question is not whether he got 100% of the vote or not, because nobody has gotten 100% of the vote. And 100% of the vote is not required to become the leader of the party or even the leader of this country. You merely need 50 plus 1. And so therefore, the vice president's performance is reflective of his general appeal in our party. But if you are talking about embarrassment, then I submit to you, Sammy, that the 2016 beating of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the beating of historic proportion that should humble you and not invite you to a conversation like this where the performance that is your record is not comparable to the performance of the vice president. He has won resoundingly. The party is behind him. And because it's your nightmare, you sit here and try to besmirch his victory so that it gives you some confidence or hope that you stand a chance. You don't. And I think that is really the point I want to make. Now, on his credential, and in terms of the management and competence management of the economy, you see, Sammy, the NDC keep doing this thing, and sometimes it worries me that the continuous display of lack of understanding of the problem we are in and the causes of the problem today, where we are as a country and the world, makes me think that you guys cannot come up with a solution. Because you must understand the problem in order to devise a solution for it. Because if you don't, what are you solving? What problem are you solving if you don't understand the problem? First of all, I'll read a certain document for you, Senior, in a minute. But I want to ask something. But by the time I finish reading, tell me what in sum total is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's policy? That if you say that this is my policy view, this is the approach I am bringing to say that if you want to know what I stand for, in few words, this is what it means. That my vision is to do this, and you break it down and you can see the policies that will flow from that singular idea to advance the country. I'm not talking about I will do this, I will do that. That is disjointed, response to problems that surround the situation. We're looking at a central policy view that when you pursue, it branches off to solve the problems that would confront you as a leader. And that, for us, we can hold on to and say, when it goes on to pursue this policy, when they implement that policy, we are likely to get A, B, C, D as a result. A central policy view. If you can tell me that, because I have that of the vice president, and you know what his view is. Right on the day of his acceptance speech, he told us what he wants to do. I want to have that from you if you have it, Sammy. Now, Senior, you see, the thing about where we are, it is difficult to convince someone who is sleeping, who is not sleeping but pretends he's sleeping, or to try to wake them up. It's difficult. This world was thrust into an impossible situation in quick succession. In 2017, 18, and 19, when NPP took over in 2017, this economy was not in a good place. Well, with the IMF, a lot of things were going wrong. And the NDC, since 2014, 2015, were in a slide all the way. In fact, 2012, the economy from 2011, when we achieved the 14% GDP growth, the economy had been in a downward decline all the way till 2016. From that 14% high. It never went up. It all kept coming down all the way through. And so in 2017, when leadership of this country changed, we saw the economy grow. Sammy and his people will say, oh, what did you do? What did you do? And I asked the question, from 2012, when you were there all the way down, why did it not look up? And it's always looking down if you knew something different to do. And so we came and we did what we did and changed the economy. It grew in 2017 by 8.2%. In 2018, it grew. 2019, it grew. In fact, in 2019, the IMF tipped Ghana as one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And then in 2020,
Can you give me the 2017, 2018, 2019 data?
I think
growth rate.
Yes. The growth rate, I think 2017 was 8.2. I think 6.2 in 2017 and 6.5 in 2019.
I mean 2018.
2018, 6.2, 6.5 in 2019.
It means that you were dipping.
But, well, not dipping necessarily, because if you saw that the height of 8.2 is 6.4 and then 6.5, there was a rise in 2019. But if you look at it as an average, it's about 7% growth on average for that 3 years. Now, something happened in 2020, and that is COVID-19. That affected all the countries, not only Ghana. And our growth that was at 6.5% in 2019 went down to 0.4%. Now, how do you explain that? And the NDC really want to tell us that it was just because the government mismanaged the economy and not COVID. When they tell you that, oh, COVID does not have impact, we should be thanking COVID. Should we be thanking COVID because our economy dropped to 0.4% in 2020? So that doesn't make sense if the NDC keeps saying that. And in 2021, if you see the numbers, you saw that the economy, again, from the 0.4% grew to about 5.36%, 5.4% in 2021. In fact, the last quarter growth of 2021 was 6%, indicating to you that there's a momentum for the economy coming back up from that time, right? So from the decline of 2020, the economy started building up in 2021. So going into 2022.
So what happened in 2022?
Yes. So let's note the 6% last quarter growth in 2021, demonstrating a momentum going into 2022. Now in 2022, I think February 24, Russia decided to invade Ukraine. That had a massive impact and turned our fortunes into the negative from what we experienced in 2021. And that's what I'm about to read for you, so you can appreciate, not from me, but in a general assessment of what impact COVID has had on all of the economies across the world and that of Africa. So that in that context, you understand that it's not a problem of anybody's mismanagement, but it was a problem of misfortune that the economy encountered, and that was beyond anybody's control. Catastrophic, beyond anybody's control. That's how come we're here. And I think that the earlier NDC understands and appreciates that point, the better for their own communication. Because see, everything Sammy was doing, trying to degenerate the conversation into a shouting contest and people saying that, oh, you are this, you are that. We're not going to accept that invitation. We'll decline that invitation respectfully. We'll leave them to have that conversation, but we will talk about the real issues. We'll talk about what vision is it that we bear, what we think we can do different from the NDC going forward in dealing with the challenges that we are in. And that is going to be the conversation.